Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to explain about muscles of upper limb. Here, I will discuss on each muscle present on upper limb, their location, their origin, insertion, and now supply of the muscles with colorful diagram. So let's see what are the muscles of upper limb. The total muscles of upper limb divided into 6 regions: pectoral region and the muscles connecting scapula with the vertebral column, muscles, neck, third, shoulder muscles, arm region, muscles of arm region, muscles of forearm region, muscles of palmar region. And the names of the muscles. So number 1, pectoral region. Pectoral region, the muscles are pectoralis major. So nerve supply of this muscle is medial and lateral pectoral nerves. And pectoralis minor, again that nerve supply by that medial and lateral pectoral nerves. And the subclavius muscle supplied by the nerve to subclavius. And one more muscle, that is serratus anterior muscle. It is not exactly the pectoral region muscle, but it is located at that pectoral region. That's why we'll read about serratus anterior at this region. Serratus anterior is supplied by the long thoracic nerve or nerve to serratus anterior. So all nerves of that upper limb is supplied by the branches of brachial plexus. So these any muscle in the body we can describe in the means of origin, insertion, nerve supply, and action. So these 4 components are very important to describe any muscle. So these are the 4 muscle we describe in the pectoral region. So here you can see that image there. This muscle, the muscle which occupies the pectoral region, which is very large, we call it is pectoralis major. And the muscle, after removing of pectoralis major, we can see that muscle which is known as that pectoralis minor. And that other muscle, a small muscle which located beneath that clavicle, we call it is subclavius. And that other muscle, that is a serratus anterior muscle. So these are the muscles of pectoral region. So we'll see that origin of pectoralis major. This muscle is arising from anterior surface of that medial part of the clavicle and manubrium and body of the sternum and up to 6th costal cartilages, along with there is aponeurosis of external oblique muscle. And this muscle is inserted as a bilaminar tendon into here in the lateral lip of the bicipital groove. So this is the origin insertion of the pectoralis major. And this pectoralis major is very important muscle, helpful for the flexion, adduction, medial rotation, and even for the climbing. So it is that we call it is a climbing muscle. So this is about pectoralis major. And the nerve supply already we discussed. And the next is the pectoralis minor. This is arising from this 3rd, 4th, and 5th costal cartilages. So this pectoralis minor is arising, and along costochondral junction. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th costochondral junction, and it is inserted at that. This is the coracoid process. This part of the scapula. So then pectoralis minor, this is that very important muscle which is helps in force inspiration. And that one more muscle, it is a serratus anterior muscle which looks like a saw. That's why it is known as a serratus anterior. So serratus anterior muscle, you can see here this muscle arising from the series of the 8 digitations from the upper 8 ribs, and this is inserted to that costal surface of the scapula along that medial border. And this serratus anterior insertion, 2 digitations are inserted to that superior angle along the medial border of the costal surface, and 2 digitations into that medial border, and the lower 4 to 5 digitations into the inferior angle of the scapula. So these are this nerve supplies serratus nerve to serratus anterior or long thoracic nerve. So this serratus anterior muscle, it is very important. You can see here, this is that digitations. So digitations, and this muscle is inserted along that medial border, which is costal surface, and about that superior angle to inferior angle. And these all muscles, this is supplied by the lung thoracic nerve. This is the branch of brachial plexus. So serratus anterior, this is that origin, insertion and nerve supply. You can see here in that image, so how it is arising from that digitations with that ribs and attaches to that scapula. So that along with the medial border it is attaches. So paralysis of this muscle may leads to prominent of that medial border. So second region, that is muscles connecting the scapula with the vertebral column. So the muscle names here, it is divided into superficial layer and deep layer. Superficially we will have the trapezius muscle and latissimus dorsi muscle. Trapezius muscle is supplied by the spinal part of the accessory nerve. It is a cranial nerve. And latissimus dorsi is supplied by the thoracodorsal nerve from the posterior part of the brachial plexus. So after removing of trapezius, we can see the deep layer muscles known as levator scapulae, that is supplied by the dorsal scapular nerve, and rhomboides major supplied by the dorsal scapular nerve, then rhomboides minor, it is also supplied by the dorsal scapular nerve. So we can see here that muscle, scapulo-vertebral muscle, means from that scapula to vertebra. So you can see such a big and trapezium shaped muscle, and this is that trapezius, and it is arising from the occipital protuberance and nuchal lines from that here vertebral column, and it is attached to the spine of the scapula. And here you can see that below a large muscle which is known as that latissimus dorsi. So latissimus dorsi, such is that arising at that lower portion. This is that iliac crest. This is that iliac crest. From the iliac crest, this is arising, and this muscle, it is extending upwards, and even you can see that it touching the inferior angle of the scapula. And this latissimus dorsi, which is attached to that humerus. And after removing the trapezius, we can see that topmost muscle, it is a levator scapulae, and this is that rhomboides minor and the rhomboides major. So these are that muscles which connecting the scapula with vertebral muscles. And the next region, that is the shoulder muscle, we also call the scapulohumeral muscles, that is connecting the scapula with the humerus. And the names of these muscles are deltoid muscle, supraspinatus muscle, infraspinatus muscle, teres minor, teres major. So these are all that nerves, and along with subscapularis. And the deltoid muscle is supplied by the axillary nerve, and this is that very important muscle which is known as the powerful abductor, and supraspinatus, which is supplied by the suprascapular nerves. Infraspinatus also suprascapular nerve. Teres minor, again it is supplied by the axillary nerve. So deltoid muscle and teres minor, both are supplied by the axillary nerve. Teres major, one more muscle supplied by the lower subscapular nerve. And that subscapularis muscle, which is supplied by the upper and lower subscapular nerves. So these are the muscles of the scapulohumeral muscles are known as shoulder muscles, and their nerve supply. Here we can see that muscle, so which is very prominent, which forms the shape to that counter to that shoulder. So this muscle we call it is deltoid. This is a deltoid muscle. And this deltoid muscle, we can see that it is arising from that clavicle and also from scapula, spine of the scapula, and it is inserted to the deltoid tuberosity in that humerus. So this is that muscle, and which is supplied by the axillary nerve, and this muscle is known as that powerful abduction. So it is a chief muscle of the abduction we call. So deltoid muscle. And other muscles we can see, this is that muscle subscapularis muscle. So this is the costal surface of the scapula, so which is occupied by the scapularis muscle, subscapularis. And this is that dorsal surface, and this is the spine of the scapula, and above the spine of the scapula is the supraspinatus, below it is the infraspinatus, and this muscle, this is that this is the teres minor, and this is the teres major. So these are all that muscles of that shoulder region, also known as that scapulohumeral muscles. And that next, so far we discussed about the pectoral region, muscles connecting the scapula with the vertebral column, and the shoulder muscles. Now coming to arm region. So the arm muscles are divided into anterior compartment and posterior compartment. Anterior also known as flexor compartment. Posterior also known as extensor compartment. Anterior compartment muscles are biceps brachii, coracobrachialis, brachialis. So that nerve of anterior compartment known as the musculocutaneous nerve. So the posterior compartment, only one muscle is present, that is the triceps brachii. The nerve of the compartment known as the radial nerve. So this muscle, we can identify this muscle which is having the two heads and which is present as the arm region. So we call it is biceps. It is a two head. So which is having the long head and short head, and this muscle is inserting, will have the two types of insertion. One is with the aponeurosis insertion, and here so this is that aponeurosis, and this is that inserted to the radial tuberosity. So that insertion as the aponeurosis and tendon, and arising from the two heads, this is the long head and short head muscles, and arising from the supraglenoid tubercle and here the coracoid process. So this is the two head muscle known as the biceps. And the one more muscle, once we remove that biceps muscle, it is known as the brachialis muscle. So the brachialis is the innermost muscle, and this muscle you can see here that after removing that biceps brachii, and it is inserted to the ulna. And that one more muscle after the biceps and brachialis, this is known as the coracobrachialis. It lies at the most medially, and this is known as that first one is the coracobrachialis, second one is the biceps brachii, and third one is the brachialis. So these are the three muscles known as that muscles of arm region, and also known as that muscles of flexor compartment of arm. So this is about that anterior compartment. So coming to the posterior compartment, also known as that extensor compartment. So here we can see this is that large muscle. Only one single muscle is located in this posterior compartment. This is known as that triceps. So the name because triceps, it arising from the three heads. It is having the three heads. So long lateral head, medial head is that and long head. So these three heads are present for the triceps muscle. So it is the chief action is known as that extension. So which is known as extensor compartment. Then the nerve supply is that radial nerve. So this is the triceps muscle which is located at the posterior compartment of the arm region. Now coming to forearm muscles. So the forearm muscles are divided into again two compartments. Anterior or flexor compartment of forearm, and posterior or extensor compartment of forearm. So anterior, each compartment muscles are divided into superficial and deep muscles. Even that posterior compartment also superficial and deep muscles. So here we'll see what are the anterior compartment superficial and deep muscles, what are posterior compartment superficial and deep muscles. So superficial muscles of front of forearm, also known as flexor compartment of the forearm. So this group contain 5 muscles, and these 5 muscles from lateral to medial, the name has given. So these are the 5 muscles, and these muscles from lateral to medial, the names are pronator teres muscle, flexor carpi radialis muscle, palmaris longus muscle, flexor digitorum superficialis muscle, flexor carpi ulnaris. And all these muscles having the common origin from the medial epicondyle of the humerus. So that origin we call common flexor origin. So anterior compartment of front of the forearm having the 5 muscles. So that out of all muscles they are supplied by the median nerve except flexor carpi ulnaris. So this ulnaris muscle is supplied by the ulnar nerve. So that's why the nerve of the flexor compartment of forearm called median nerve. So this muscle we can see, this is the anterior compartment known as the pronator teres. And that next muscle, so this muscle, which is a common flexor origin, which is going to the thumb region, so flexor carpi radialis. Then we can see that muscle which is the small muscle belly with long tendon and which is located in the middle. So this muscle is known as palmaris longus. And this palmaris longus is extended as the palmar aponeurosis. The next muscle which lies most medially known as the flexor carpi ulnaris. So that location, according to the location and the name has given. So next muscle it is the flexor digitorum superficialis. The flexor digitorum superficialis, the name it is telling digitorum. So it is going to the digits. So the flexor digitorum superficialis is the largest muscle. So it is the largest muscle of the superficial group of muscles, and it forms intermediate muscle layer between superficial and deep groups. And it is arising from, it is having the 2 origins, okay. So it is arising from the common flexor origin and humero-ulnar head and radial head. So this insertion we can see, so it divides into the 4 tendons for that medial 4 fingers. So it inserted to the middle. So next is the flexor digitorum superficialis. Flexor digitorum superficialis is the largest muscle of superficial group of muscles, and it is forms the intermediate muscle layer, and it is arising from the 2 heads. One is that humero-ulnar head and radial head, and that inserted to that all middle phalanges of the medial 4 fingers. So it divides into that 4 tendons for that medial 4 fingers. So this is the flexor digitorum superficialis. The nerve supply is by the median nerve. The deep muscles of front of forearm are flexor pollicis longus, which is supplied by anterior interosseous nerve, flexor digitorum profundus, which is having the 2 nerve supplies. Its medial half by ulnar nerve, its lateral half by the anterior interosseous nerve, that is the nerve of again that median nerve. That is a branch of median nerve. Then pronator quadratus, it is supplied by the anterior interosseous nerve. So these are the three deep muscles, which is known as the flexor digitorum profundus, and which is that going to the great thumb. So which is pollicis longus, and which is pronator quadratus. So these are all muscles of the deep layer. And the flexor digitorum profundus, we can see, which is the powerful and bulky muscle of the forearm. And it is having the two nerve supplies, that is the median and ulnar nerves, and it provides mostly gripping power of the hand. And that it divides into four tendons, enters the hand by passing deep to the flexor retinaculum and posterior to the tendons of the flexor digitorum superficialis. And it provides origin to the lumbricals muscles of the palm. So these are the some characteristic features of the flexor digitorum profundus. So flexor digitorum profundus, we can see this is that bulkiness, the bulkiness of the muscle, and it is divides into the four tendons for the medial four digits. And from these tendons, the lumbrical muscles are arises. So the lumbrical muscles are muscles of the palmar region. So these are about the muscles of the front of forearm. Now coming to back of forearm. So the back of the forearm again divides into superficial and deep muscles. So that superficial muscles are brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus, then extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris, and ankylosing. So here we can see that muscles, that first 1, 2, 3. These 1, 2, 3 muscles are most lateral side muscles, and again 4, 5, 6 muscle, middle muscle. A small muscle lies at the upper portion known as the ankylosing. So these are the 7 superficial muscles of back of the forearm. So here these are the muscles, extensor muscles, the brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus, and brevis. So number 1, it is the brachioradialis, extensor radialis longus, and extensor carpi radialis brevis. And these are the again the muscles. So first image, it is extensor carpi ulnaris because most medial side, extensor digitorum which goes to the digits, extensor digiti minimi going to little finger. And the deep muscles, they are we call it is supinator, abductor pollicis longus, then extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus. So we can see for the pollicis means for the thumb will have the abductor, extensor, and extensor. So one is brevis, one is longus. Then extensor indicis. So indicis means it is an index finger. So all these muscles, and it is that up topmost, that is a supinator. So all that muscles except supinator, all deep muscles originate from the posterior surface of the radius and ulna, interosseous membrane, and pass to the supply and inserted to the fingers and thumb region. So these are the deep muscles of the posterior compartment of the forearm. So here we can see that all the muscles, extensor muscles of the deep layer. So we can see. So here we can see that muscles which go into that pollicis. One is that abductor, one is that extensor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and which is going to here it is that index finger, and that topmost muscle here it is a supinator. So here this muscle, this is that thickened deep fascia at the palmar region known as the palmar aponeurosis. So this is a triangle shape. So here which is above, from above it is continuous with the palmaris longus muscle, and which is at the palm region, the deep fascia is thickened and forms in the palmaris aponeurosis. So this helps in protection of underlying nerves, vessels, and arteries. Now coming to that muscles of the hand. So that intrinsic muscles of the hand, we call, they are arranged into the 5 groups. known as the thenar muscles, hypothenar muscles, lumbricals, and interosseous muscles. So all these muscles are total number it is 10 muscles. So the thenar muscles, which is occupied at that lateral side, that is at the thumb region. So the all names we call it is that pollicis. So abductor pollicis brevis, and here it is opponent's pollicis, and here this muscle is known as the flexor pollicis brevis, and this is adductor pollicis. So this 1, 2, 3, these three muscles forms the thenar eminence, means prominence of the thenar region. So this is the lateral side. So all these lateral side muscles are supplied by the median nerve. So but adductor pollicis lies deeply. That's why it supplied by the ulnar nerve. The hypothenar region is located at that medial side, at the little finger side. So these muscles we call it is that hypothenar, and these muscles they are forms the hypothenar eminence, and one more palmaris brevis also here. So first image it is abductor digitae minimi. So because it is the most medial, all supplies to that little finger. So abductor digitae minimi, flexor digitae minimi brevis, and opponent's digitae minimi. So next muscle, that is the lumbricals. So lumbricals are that muscles. They are numbering that four in number, and they are first, second, third, and fourth from lateral to medial. Means that is from the thumb side. We have to calculate from the thumb. So that 1, 2, 3, 4 muscles from lateral to medial. And the name why that lumbrical given means they are very small and slender muscles, and they looks like worm, like that is the earthworm. So that's why that name given. They are arising from that tendon. So that tendon flexor digitorum profundus tendon, and one lumbrical 1 and 2, that is from lateral side of lateral 2 tendons of the flexor digitorum profundus, and 3 and 4 from the adjacent sides of the medial 3 tendons of the flexor digitorum profundus, and they are inserted to the lateral sides of the dorsal digital expansion of the corresponding digits of second to fifth. So the numbering will be given like this is at number 1, and this is at number 2, and number 3, and number 4. So these are all arising from, you can see here, this is the flexor digitorum profundus. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is inserted at that lateral side. You can see the lateral side of the adjacent digit, corresponding digit. So from that second, third, fourth, fifth corresponding digit. So this is about that lumbricals. Because of this appearance, it's called lumbricals. So next is the 4 palmar interosseous muscle and 4 dorsal interosseous muscle. So the palmar and dorsal interosseous, what is the difference? We can see here means. So palmar interosseous muscle is located at that palmar surface between metacarpals, whereas dorsal interosseous, they are between the metacarpals of dorsal region. And this is palmar interosseous is a unipennate muscle. We can observe the dorsal interosseous is a bipennate muscle. And palmar interosseous origin from palmar aspect of the metacarpals, and whereas here the dorsal interosseous from sides of the metacarpals. And palmar interosseous, the main function action is adduction of digits, and whereas dorsal interosseous is abduction of digits. So these are the common differences about palmar and dorsal interosseous. So these are the total number of muscles of the palmar region. That is total 20 muscles. So far we discussed about that all muscles of the upper limb from pectoral region to palm region. So this is about that muscles of the upper limb. So these muscles of that upper limb so helps us to understand that if you prepare a chart like all regions in one place, so it is helpful to write small answer questions like 2 mark question, 5 marks question in that exams, and it helps students to quick revision during the examination. So thank you everyone. Thanks for listening. Thank you.